Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today I have for you a tutorial on how to make these little earrings. They are using some chips and a bead and a charm. And I'm making these to go with this starfish necklace. You can see a tutorial on this necklace from Kelly Dale off the Beaded Path. She makes these. And there's a tutorial online, and that's what I use to make this. She doesn't glue the Swarovski crystal in the middle, but I like that there, so I just went ahead and glued. It's a flat back crystal AB, size 20, I believe. And I wanted some earrings to go with this necklace, so I created these. A lot of people, I think, have trouble with bead chips. It's hard to figure out a way to use them, and I had a bunch and thought they would be really cute with this turquoise. You know, they match really well there. So anyway, let's get into it. What you're going to need for this tutorial is a bead of your choice. I'm using this little bead, Jesse James bead. You'll need an eye pin, and a charm, whatever charm you want to use. I've already attached this just for time's sake. You'll need some head pins. Now, these head pins, when I do the wraps, I'm going to do them with these head pins. Normally, I would not use head pins that are this long for these tiny little wraps, and I actually used these others on this, but they are really, really, really hard to wrap the wire because they're thick. I think they're 20 gauge, or they may even be 18 gauge. I'm not sure, but do not use 20 or 18. Use like this, I think, is a 24 gauge head pin, and it's much, much easier to make the wrapped loops. I mean, you're just punishing yourself if you do it with this thicker. But these are the only short head pins I had, and I didn't want to waste my long head pins, so I went ahead and used the short ones, but man, yeah, they are a pain. So you'll need head pins, you'll need one little silver spacer bead, some jump rings, an ear hook of your choice, whatever you want to use, some bead chips, or I guess they're called bead chips, gemstone chips, whatever those are. You'll need round nose pliers, chain nose pliers. I have bent chain nose pliers, and a cutter. So let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to do is open up your head pin, or your eye pin, and attach your charm. So that's easy enough. And if you don't know how to open an eye pin, you just take the pliers, find the side where it is not soldered, and of course I can't do it on camera. You just grab it right there, twist it to the side, and that opens it up. Come on, camera, focus for me. See, that'll open it up for you. And then to close it back up, you want to twist it back to the side. You do not want to take this and pull it open this way, because then you'll never get it back correctly. So you attach your little charm. Now we're going to make a bunch of bead dangles. I've already made the ones for this earring. I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. But I'm going to show you how to do them, like I said, with these thinner gauge head pins. So you're just going to take your head pin, take your chip. You can I just put one on each head pin just because I wanted these to be small and just dangle right at the top. I didn't want them to be long. So you're going to take it like this, just put it on there. Take your bent nose pliers or your chain nose, whichever you want to use. Bend your wire at a 90-degree angle, and this is a little tricky sometimes because you don't have a lot of room to work with there. Bend that down. So see, you have a 90-degree angle there, if you can tell. Like I said, it's a little bit tricky, and if you have trouble getting it straight, just go ahead and, cameras don't want to focus. Just bend it at a 90-degree angle. Then you're going to take your round nose pliers, put them in at the very small tip. You don't want to go too far up because you don't want a huge loop. So you're just going to grasp it at the tip right there, just like that. You're going to take the wire, bend it over the top, whoops, over the top, like this. Okay. Turn your pliers, rotate them up, so now you're holding it like this. Come on, camera. And then you're going to wrap your wire on around like that. And then when you take your plier out, you have a little loop. Okay? But you don't really have to take your plier out. You can leave it in. Well, yeah, I take them out and switch pliers. So then I grab my bent nose pliers, I grab the loop right here like this, and then I take my other chain nose plier, and you've got to grasp this pretty firmly, which I'm obviously not doing. It's hard when you're on camera. I've got the camera right in front of me and it's kind of in the way. Yeah, and then you're just going to wrap it around. And you can switch the direction of your pliers like this so you can get a good wrap. See, that's not what's supposed to happen. There we go. Okay, you just wrap and wrap. I'll wrap around maybe twice. I like the wrapped loops because they are so, you know, they're not going to come undone like a jump ring could, or even, I don't know, I like split rings, but they're so hard to work with that I just do the wrapped loops. Then you're going to take your flush cutter, put the flush side closest to the loop. You know, you're wanting to trim it as close as you can get it, and trim. And be careful because these will fly. I usually try to hold it down toward the bead mat when I do that. And then you take your plier, and if you have a little piece of wire that's poking out, you want to take it and just tuck it in so nobody gets scratched or poked. Okay? And sometimes to get that wire tucked is a little difficult, and I will put it in my plier like this. I'll hold this and then take my other one and tuck it. Okay. Now, something to be a little bit careful of with these, there you go, there you have it. Sorry, I just got distracted. There's your little, whoop, come on, there's a little bead dangle right there, okay? So something to be a little cautious of is a lot of these chips, like this one for instance, if I can get it up here to where I can show you. Watch me not even be able to hold this thing in the plier. I can't, okay. The hole on this one is over toward the edge. So you just want to kind of be careful. You can still use these with the hole toward the edge, but see, there's not a whole lot of room there. That shows it better. And it could break. This could break. So I try to use the ones that look a little more like they're drilled, you know, a little more toward the middle. Just so they're a little more sturdy on your thing. So, and excuse my hands, I know a lot of you know that I got a new job, and I'm actually gluing Swarovski crystals on things all day. Here's an example kind of this is an earring that's in progress. It's not done yet, but we use E6000 glue, and we glue crystals on, and some of the earrings we make are huge. I mean, like, they're big, like pageant and prom earrings, and we're gluing all those crystals, and my hands from the glue are just, they're a mess. So excuse my terrible looking hands, but it is a hazard of the job. Okay, so you're going to make up 5 little bead dangles, just like we just did. Then you're going to take your head pin with your charm on. You're going to put a spacer bead on. Okay, just like that. Put your bead on. Now, when I first made this, and this is why I do one off camera before I get on here, because when I first made this, I put a spacer bead on top, but it ended up not looking good. It pushed the dangles up too far, so, I mean, you could put a spacer bead up there if you want to, if you're kind of, like, I'm a little OCD, and I like to even things out, you know, if there's a spacer on the bottom, I like a bead on the spacer on the top, but it didn't look right, so I'm just going to leave it off, okay? So, what we're going to do, in order to make these, and this is another thing I figured out when I did these off camera, if you just put them all on your head pin, they end up all bunched up like in one spot, and they don't lay very well. Like these, how they kind of have some movement to them, and, you know, they just lay a little bit better. If you don't use a couple jump rings, then they're not going to lay very well. So, what I did is I'll thread one on, and then I'm going to put the next one on a jump ring. And first I used 6mm jump rings, then I went back and was like, nope, that didn't look right. I used 4, changed them to 4. So, jump rings, if you're not familiar with how to open a jump ring, let's do that real quick. So you grab your jump ring with one plier on one side, you'll have a little, the little split there where it opens up. You grab it with the other plier, like this, and you turn this way. Let me see if I can get it to see how, no, you couldn't see, it didn't show it at all. There we go. See how it's open to the sides, like twisted this way. You don't want to take your jump ring and pull it. Here, let me show you with one. If I can find the little, there we go. Yeah, you don't want to take your jump ring and try to pull it open like this, just straight open, because if you do that, it's really hard to get it back like you want it to go. So when you open your jump ring, you grab it on each side of the little cut or split, and you twist open like that, okay? So then you're going to put your bead dangle on, and you're going to close it back up the same way by twisting, by twisting like this. And then you can kind of go back and forth a little bit. You'll feel it, like when the sides rub together and it's closed really good. But you want to make sure it's closed really good. There's no gap there in your jump ring, okay? And you're going to slide it on. Then you put on another regular one without a jump ring. Then we're going to put one more on with a jump ring. Same way we just did. Okay. Slide him on. And one more without a jump ring. Okay, and there you have it. It just gives it a little movement, makes them lay better, and that's how I do mine. Anyway, you can do it however you want, but that's what I found through trial and error works the best for me. Okay, so then we're going to make a wrapped loop. So you come down here. You want to come down as close to your bead dangles as you can get. And this is a little tricky, but you can do it. You want to get really close down to your bead dangles, okay? Because you want them to lay, I mean, you don't want them to be like sliding up and down. You want them to lay even with the, I don't know how to describe that, but you don't want just them flopping all over. So you get as close as you can, bend at a 90-degree angle, just like we did before. Just like that. Okay. Take your chain nose pliers. And see, this is where it gets a little tricky. It's just kind of hard to get in there. You get down at the very end as far as you can get so you don't make too big of a loop. Okay, then we're going to wrap it back around just like that. Turn your plier and go on and wrap it around. So hopefully you'll get something similar to this. And it's hard to see because of all those little bead dangles underneath there, but that's what you want. And then you're going to take your other plier, grab it, And like I said, it's a little tricky because now we've got all those bead dangles on there and they just kind of are in the way, but you want to try to get down as close as you can to them. Okay, so we'll grab it here. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get it. There we go. And then we'll take the other plier and we're going to wrap. And this wrapped loop here does not have to be perfect. I mean, I kind of like them to look a little bit messy. I just think it gives it a more organic look. And especially on an earring like this that's, you know, you want it to have some texture. Whoa, sorry, just about knocked you guys off the table. You want it to have some texture and some movement and stuff. So the wrapped loops, oh my goodness, now I broke my headband. I'm having issues today. But I did get it wrapped enough. It is, I might take it a little bit more. But the wrapped loops, you know, you can do them real neat if you want to. And on some earrings I do. It just depends on the type of earring. But yeah, this one, I don't really care if it's super, super perfect. Okay, so then we're going to get in here with our flush cutters. And be sure you don't cut one of your bead tangles, because that would be really bad. You'd have to undo this whole thing and put another one on. Oh, it's hard with them in the way, but alright, and then get as close as you can in there. Cut it down towards your bead mat so you don't poke your eye out. And then I'm going to try to tuck this in without breaking any of my chips. Yeah, there we go. Alright, and I hope that was clear enough. I'm sorry, it's really hard to get that on camera, and especially when I keep hitting the camera. Okay, what am I doing? Then you're going to take your ear wire. I use lever backs. I don't know why, because I've always worn fishhook ear wires, but everyone that I sell to likes lever backs or posts. People just don't seem to like the fishhooks, so I switched up and started using lever backs or posts for almost all of my earrings. Now, there are a couple things I put on fishhooks, but not a whole lot. So, just going to make sure, you want to make sure that you have the earring facing right. And we're going to twist it open, the little lever back thing there. And then we've got to make sure that our starfish is hanging correctly. So he faces the front. Close it up. Now, if you find that your earring is hanging like this, like mine is, how it's kind of to the side, you can take and grab right here on your top wrapped loop and twist. Just twist, grab the bottom here and twist. And what you're doing is twisting your eye pin, head pin, and eye pin to turn so that, you know, your starfish will dangle correctly. Just like that. And that is how you make the little starfish with the gemstone chips, little dangle earrings. So there you have it. They turn out really cute. And if you make one of these beaded necklaces, like from Kelly Dell's tutorial, they, you know, they go really well with it. I think they do. So anyway, another thing that you can do with a bead dangle, and I just made I made one. I haven't made the second one yet. I'm not going to do a tutorial right now on this, but once you've done that and you kind of know what you're doing, then you can do this. This is not hard, but you take a chandelier earring finding, and then these are rose quartz chips. And what I did is I just took a head pin, the long thin ones like this, and I put some Swarovski bicones, the chip, a spacer, a couple chips, another spacer bead. These are some little, I think they're fire polish rondelles with a silver on one side and the pink on the other. So I just found some coordinating beads and I made the 5 little dangles. And what I did with these is the first one I hooked on with a 4mm jump ring. The second one I put 2 4mm jump rings because it makes them hang just a little bit, you know, to where they're not all bunched up in one little, it makes them in a row, but like not a bunched up row, if that makes sense. So I did 1 jump ring, 2, 1, 2, and 1. And then just put a little Swarovski bicone bead dangle right there. Hooked them on the lever back, and they make a really cute pair of earrings. I haven't done the other one yet. They will be a pair. And then I have so much stuff laid aside to do things with. You know, you can use any of these chandelier type ear findings for this. I'm going to make another pair of those with these, I don't know what kind of gemstone chips these are, but they're all like kind of greenish, and there's some like brown in there, and almost a burgundy. I've got more of them over here. And I'm going to make a pair with these chips, and I think I might use that chandelier finding for them. But I thought they were really cute too. So I've got to get off here and get ready for work. Lynn on my channel had asked for an update about my life, basically, because I've moved and started a new job and all that. And so I am going to do a finished jewelry update this evening. I've made a ton of stuff to take home. We're going home to visit, and everybody at home wants me to bring new jewelry that I've made. So I have a ton of stuff that I've made up, so I'm going to do a big finished jewelry update this evening, and I'll update you on what's going on with me and my life. So thanks for asking, Lynn, and I will do that this evening and get it uploaded. So if you like the video and you'd like to see more videos of this type, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and if you hit the little bell, you can subscribe to my channel, and that will notify you every time that I upload a video. I have a bargain bead box opening coming that is shipped out yesterday, and so it should be here. Hopefully, I don't know when it's going to come. It takes a while with DHL, but hopefully we'll get it, and I'll upload that video around the first of the week. But yeah, like and subscribe, and comment below. I love to read your comments and respond, and you know, we're going to try to get some more tutorials up, but I will do that finished jewelry update after work this evening, and I'll get that uploaded. So I will see you in the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.